Hello everyone, this is Robyn Cardin. Welcome to mypinkstamper.com. I am so happy that you are joining me for a quick video tutorial. Today I am spotlighting the Wonderful Moments stamp set. If you follow me on my Instagram at Robyn Stamps or on my blog, you may know that my second daughter, my 19-year-old, is getting married in May. So this will be our second child that has been married in under 2 years. And I thought it'd be really appropriate to make a beautiful card for her. So I'm going to be using the woman, the beautiful lady that is holding the bouquet. The girl. I don't know why I'm saying lady. Okay, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of the watercolor technique for you today. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you'll stay with me for a little bit and follow me along step by step as we make this card together. Everything you see in today's video can be purchased directly from my shopping page, shopmypinkstamper.com. Okay, let's hop right in. Let's start with our stamping first today. We're going to be using a piece of our watercolor paper, and I'll have all of the item codes as well as the description directly on the screen to make it easier for you. Also, they will be at the end of each video, or the video, and in the description. Okay, so I'll have everything that I'm going to be using. This piece is cut at, I'll have the size on the screen for you. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm using Stays On ink because I'm going to be watercoloring. And because this is one of our photopolymer stamp sets, it's the clear stamps, I'm going to, for extra padding, I'm going to put it on top of one of our foam piercing mats. And I'm going to just ink this upside down. That way I can just make sure that it's getting on my stamp for this size. I'm going to stamp this kind of off to the right a little bit like this. Press firmly, do not rock your stamp, and then I'm going to pull it off. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp for the bride, the top right, or top left, right there. And that is all of the stamping that I'm going to be doing, so I can set that aside. Now I'm going to pull out my aqua painters. Aqua painter, it comes in a set of 2, but I'm just using one of them. And I'm going to grab just our pad of, this is our grid paper. It's perfect for if you need a surface to stamp on. I'm going to kind of have it off to the side right here. I have our large E stamping block, and I'm using 2 of our ink refills. I'm using Pool Party. It's a re-inker for our ink pad, but you can also use it for different techniques. And I'm using Melon Mambo. So I'll go ahead and start with the Melon Mambo. I'm just going to use a tiny, tiny bit right here on the block. And I like using the blocks because I can just wipe it off, or I can just run it under water and let it air dry, or wipe it off with a towel. Okay, now I'm going to be using, I squeeze this, this has water, you just put water in the barrel, and I'm going to just squeeze it on here a little bit. And I really only need a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, but I like to usually make my projects and my cards in sets of 4, 8, or 12. So I'm gonna let that dry for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and get my heat tool out because that's going to help me with the drying process. Now, you can run this under water until it's clear, or you can just simply put it on a paper towel, or I have mine on my paper right here. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the Pool Party. And I'm going to squeeze some of that on here as well. Just a little bit. And then I'll add some water. Now, the more water you squeeze, the lighter it's going to be. So I kind of just want it to be a light version, and I can kind of see the color first. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of start at the bottom, and I'm just going to shadow around the girl. And you can keep adding more to make it darker, and I just want it to be a shadow. I'm not going to be coloring on the image at all, besides the flowers. Just going to keep adding on here, and then this is going to go down and just give me a little bit of a shadow look. Okay. And you can keep adding it. If you want to make it a little bit darker, or if you want it lighter, you could have it be a little lighter with more water. All right. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. It's just going to make the image pop more. Kind of want this to go off here as well. So let me add some more down here. Okay, and now I can just set that aside and let it dry. All right, the next thing I'm going to do to make this card is I'm going to add some texture to the background. So I have a piece of our Whisper White cardstock right here. This is cut at it's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm using the embossing folder Tufted. I just think I love this folder. I love just the shapes. I like the texture. I like that it's so versatile. I could use it for so many different cards, practically every occasion. So I'm just going to run that through. This takes a flat piece of paper and it adds texture. So if you've never tried embossing folders, look at how fun. You ready to be wowed? Look at that. So now it has this fun texture to it. Now I can put this card together. So I'm going to take a piece of basic black cardstock. This is cut at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 inches. And I'm going to fold this in half. And I'm using our bone folder to get a nice and tight crease. You can also score it first at 4 1/4 if that helps you as well. Now, because this is a black card base, I get the question a lot, what do you do with the inside? Well, you can either use our chalk marker to write a note on the inside, or you can use a lighter piece of cardstock, and I'm using the Whisper White again. It's also cut at 4 by 5 1/4. I'm taking our snail adhesive. I'm just going to add this right here in the center, and now you can stamp this up to coordinate and match, and then write a little note on the inside. All right, I'm going to take this piece here that we just embossed, and now I have a piece of our Melon Mambo cardstock. This is cut at 1/2 inch by 4 inches. I also add some adhesive to the back, and now I'm going to have this go from side to side. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to add adhesive to all 4 sides and a little in the center. Since I'm using an embossing folder, and I have a backup snail, that one just ran out. Okay, I'm going to add this right on here. Now I have another piece of our basic black cardstock. This is cut just a little bit larger. I'll have the dimensions on the screen, the size, and that's going to be just a little bit bigger than this piece of the watercolor paper. Now, since this is a larger piece, I'm going to pull out my foam adhesive strips, or you could use our Stampin' Dimensionals, or you can just lay it flat if you'd like. I'm just going to grab one strip. These are great, these foam adhesive strips, for making shaker cards or just big pieces that you want to lift up on any of your crafting projects or scrapbook pages. Okay, so this is just going to go right here, but I'm not done yet. So now I thought it'd be fun if I made a veil. So I'm going to be using our polka dot ribbon right here, and I'm just going to have it fold in half like this, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I'll cut it and then I'll trim it in a bit. My scissors are stuck over here. Okay. I'm going to cut it, and then now I'm going to add a glue dot. Let me find my glue dots. Here they are. Add a glue dot right here, and then that'll just add her veil, but I'm not done yet either. I'm going to now, I want this to be trimmed in a little bit, so I'm just going to take the corner off right here. It's on there with a glue dot, so it's nice and stuck. And I'm going to also trim just a little bit around here. And we picked my daughter's wedding dress. We got it last week. We picked it out, so we already have our veil and everything. I'm so excited. Such a fun time. So now I'm going to take our Stampin' Pearls, or our pearls, and I like to use the bone folder, and I'm going to add 3 up here that's holding on her pearl, her veil. So 1 and then 2, can move that around a little bit. Okay, and then I'll do 1 more. Isn't this looking so pretty, you guys? 3. Okay, so now I'm just gonna trim up the veil so it just kind of is flush with the bottom of the watercolor paper. And now we have a really pretty wedding card. So I hope this was a fun technique for you, a fun card. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the little notification bell. And also, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of my project. And I will hope to see you over on my website, mypinkstamper.com. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.